Hi, this is Joy Robertson. As many of you know, I love food. I love finding new restaurants. I love trying new dishes. And most of all, I love talking to the many great restaurateurs and entrepreneurs we have here in the Ozarks and beyond. I love hearing their stories, and that's what this podcast is all about, learning more about them and their journey. So join me as we savor the Ozarks. This episode is brought to you by Arctic Food Equipment. Those of you with a hearty appetite, I'm sure, love a good sauce, a good dipping sauce, a sauce to spread on whatever it is you're eating. And you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody in this country that doesn't recognize Melinda's sauces. I met this company several years ago here at the National Restaurant Show, and I met you, Pinson Figueroa, and your dad and his brother started Melinda's. Is that correct? Tell me about the company.
That's true. I'm Pinson Figueroa. I head up commercial strategy here at Melinda's. So we're a family-owned business, family-owned and operated. My father and uncle founded the brand back in 1989, so we've been doing this for about 37 years now. And my family's from Belize in Central America, so a lot of the original recipes and flavor profiles that we came up with come from Belize. So we're actually credited with making the habanero pepper a household name in the U.S. and bringing the first habanero pepper sauces into the U.S. Since then, we've continued to operate as a family business, and in 2018 we launched a new line of squeezable dipping sauces and condiments and have been the fastest growing hot sauce brand in the U.S. Every year since.
1989?
Yes, 1989. Like I said, we're a legacy hoping to continue forward.
Wow, I had no idea. Who is Melinda?
So Melinda is a representation of my grandmother. Her name is Margaret Figueroa, but Melinda herself is exactly that, a representation of that matriarch of the family. When you go home for Thanksgiving and you walk in the door and you get hit with that wave of good smelling food that brings you back to your childhood, whoever's making that magic happen is Melinda. So we like to say everyone has a Melinda in their family, and that's who she represents for us.
Well, she's drop dead beautiful, and you don't miss her. I mean, your packaging is fantastic. You see the big red Melinda's logo with the beautiful Melinda surrounded by the peppers, and looks like the flowers, and it's just beautiful. So Belize is where your family comes from.
Yes, my father's side of the family. Actually, the gentleman who is responsible for our packaging, our logos, all of our design, my father does pretty much everything visual that you could imagine for Melinda's. He's also Chef Fig, our persona on social media, out there making his face known, which I'm very proud of him for. But yeah, we're a Belizean family. We're an immigrant family. My grandparents came over here, I guess it was in the 50s, and built our family here. And we're very proud of our culture and our heritage and the connection to the Yucatan and obviously the spicy peppers that we use in our sauces.
Where are you based out of currently?
So currently our headquarters is in Dallas, Texas. We were founded in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where we all grew up. And Hurricane Katrina moved us out to Dallas in 2008. Warehouse got flooded and a lot of employees got displaced. We helped people move over back to Texas and got set up there.
So you guys, I did not know you had a presence in New Orleans ever.
Yep, that's where I was born. I actually grew up just outside New Orleans on the North Shore in a little town called Covington, and went to school in New Orleans as well, lived there for some years, and I just moved to Dallas myself in 2018.
All right. So what was you say you're credited with bringing the habanero to the States, and that is a dandy. That is a fiery little thing. What sauce did you start with? There had to be one.
Yes. So our original recipe, which would be habanero peppers, carrots, garlic, onions, lime juice, the same kind of ingredients you use when you're cooking, so that when you add it to a recipe, it preserves the integrity of the dish. So that's where we started. From there, we became known for our different heat levels. We had a 1X, 2X, 3X, 4X, and then from there we started to move into exotic peppers and new flavor profiles. Everything we do is about highlighting the flavor of peppers more so than the heat of peppers.
So your dad and his brother grew up eating this sauce that I guess your grandparents maybe kind of started it, or your dad started, or someone started it.
Yeah, so the original sauce itself, the original recipe, was actually a found product that we started to import back in 1989. So all of the iterations from that original recipe were creations by my father and uncle, but that original recipe was a flavor profile that existed in Belize at the time, and we started to import it. And from there, we built the Melinda's brand around it and became known for flavor creation as time went on.
Okay, got it. Well, I've noticed every time I come to this show, there are more bottles and more bottles and more bottles and more flavors. So what are you unveiling this year that's new?
I don't know if I have too many secrets to share just now, but we really are excited about our new whole fruit preserve line, our spicy preserves. We use whole fruits and whole peppers to make delicious preserves. They're available in just about every major retailer in the U.S., Kroger, Walmart, Albertsons, Publix. So we're really excited about that line, and our hot honeys as well is something we're really focusing on, as well as our sriracha. We've had our sriracha for a while, but it's got a little bit of a new life to it, and it's just blowing up. So we're really excited to talk about that. We have, I think, 41 unique flavor profiles, so we have to slow down a little bit at some point and really focus in on what's winning.
My husband makes these great chicken strips, and when I see him start to make that, if I don't have this sauce, I will get in the car and go to the store and get the sauce, and it's the sweet Thai chili. Is that it?
Thai chili, yeah, that's one of our best sellers. That one is an outstanding sauce, sweet, savory, garlicky, good on just about anything. Nice and mild, very approachable. Yeah.
What all do you use these sauces on? And I mean, I think I know the answer is pretty much everything, but you started with probably meats and grilling and what have you, and then you've just branched out to what?
Yeah, we call it a liquid spice rack. So we really want people to play with the sauces and kind of individualize their experience. So we have sauces that are very food specific, like our pizza hot sauce and our ghost pepper steak sauce. And then we have sauces like our Thai chili that you talked about. That's very versatile. It can be used on anything. Makes a great glaze for a pan-seared salmon. Actually, if you mix it with a little bit of a vinaigrette, it makes an amazing salad dressing. Mix it with a little mayo for a sandwich spread. So we really, like I said, embrace that idea of a liquid spice rack and want people to play with the sauces and tell us what you use it for.
So the pizza hot sauce that you have, it's not you can put it on pizza, but it's not a pizza sauce per se. It is a sauce that has the elements of what a pizza tastes like. Am I right?
No, so it doesn't have pizza flavor profiles. It's crushed red pepper in liquid form. So the idea is the same pepper flakes you'd sprinkle on top of a pizza to add some spice, we've made into a sauce. So it's a little bit easier to use, and it plays into the dipping and pairs really well with ranch as well, because you can make a great mixture with ranch in our pizza hot sauce.
Okay, well, you can tell I haven't really had that one before then. Okay, how big is truffle? Truffle is a great flavor that's caught on over the last few years, and you guys have utilized truffle.
Yeah, our black truffle sauce is outstanding. One thing we like to say about our black truffle sauce is it kind of democratizes black truffle for people. It makes it available at a very affordable price point. We still use amazing high-quality fresh summer truffles from Italy, and we use a little bit of Colombian honey, a little bit of Parmesan cheese for some complexity and a little bit of depth to the sauce. One of our best sellers, again, one of those new flavor profiles that's come from the new generation of Melinda's that's just taken off.
So you have all sorts of different flavors of sauces, and you have different size bottles too, which I think is interesting, because I went into the store one day and there was a bin full of different flavored sauces from Melinda's, and I was over the moon because my daughter comes to the show with me, and I got her a whole handful of those for her Christmas stocking. Do you have those people that carry around Melinda's with them when they go to eat, keep it in their car, keep it in their purse, like the Crazy Ranch people?
Yes, we do, and I'm very proud when they introduce themselves to me. I love it when they share their stories, or they open up their purse and they show me their mini bottle. Those mini bottles have been revolutionary for our business. A lot of people are scared to spend $5 or $6 on a sauce they haven't tried, and we have so many flavors, so that gives them an opportunity to try it with a easily approachable price point at $1 or to $1.50, depending on which retailer you go to. So we're really excited about the minis, and we love that people take them around. They can take them on planes, they can take them in their backpack, throw them in lunch boxes. You can do just about anything you want with them.
Now, I was on your website earlier today, and it runs in my mind that by and large, these don't need to be refrigerated. Is that correct?
Yeah, almost all of our products are pasteurized when they're filled, and all of our glass bottle products are hot filled, so you really don't need to. They have great shelf life. We don't use any preservative or heavily processed ingredients, but they're very shelf stable.
It's a great company based out of Dallas. Do you manufacture all of this in Dallas?
No, we manufacture everything now in Colombia, South America. So as I told you, originally in Belize, for a time in Costa Rica, and then now in Colombia. And Colombia has been amazing for us as a competitive advantage for access to fresh produce and fresh peppers. We're able to bring in a lot of product that's very close to our plant and keep up our flavor philosophy of making sure we use the best and highest quality ingredients.
Okay, so you live in Dallas, but is the business portion of this coming out of Dallas or what?
Yes, so our headquarters is in Uptown Dallas. We have a headquarter office there, and we also have a location in Houston or in Pasadena outside of Houston. It's our warehouse and distribution center.
How many people does Melinda's employ?
So we have about 25 people in our Dallas headquarters office. We probably have about 15 in our Houston warehouse office, and then we get a lot of help and from satellite salespeople spread around the country helping us build the retail business as well. We have probably about 6 or 7 sales guys helping us out around the country as well.
What has been the response from the National Restaurant Show? Not just this year, but all the other years. You keep coming back, so something must be working.
It has been amazing. I think that we're probably the chef's favorite hot sauce because of our commitment to high quality ingredients and commitment to unique flavor profiles. We get a ton of really, really great reactions from the chefs when they try our products. So we love to see that firsthand. It's the reason why I always come out to these shows personally. Nothing beats that reaction when you see someone love your sauce.
Well, you look over here, you see this logo that you recognize, and you go, oh, it's Melinda's. I got to go over there and see what they've got that's new. And, you've been written up in Holy Cow, Chowhound, Food and Wine, Mashed, The Kitchen, Yahoo News, Trend Hunter, Taste of Home, Fox News, USA Today, and now Savor the Ozarks. God bless you. Thank you for that. So you are literally all over the world. Did you, when this company started, and this is going back a long way, do you think that they ever thought it would be what it is today?
I know that in my heart, I always knew it would. So I'm only 27 years old, so the company's been around much longer than I have. So growing up, it was the greatest thing ever to me. It was always the biggest, most exciting company. And whenever I joined the business, it was really exciting to see the opportunity that we had ahead of us. And I knew when I saw people's reactions to the products, the way fans would message us and tell us about how they can't move on with their day unless they have their Melinda's with their breakfast, and they always keep it in their backpack. We even have some super fans that have had our logo tattooed on their body. So when I see that kind of interaction and I see the love that we get from our amazing fans, I couldn't see any other opportunity for us besides success.
That is remarkable. People literally tattoo the love. That's great. I would love to read your mail someday. That's wild.
It is amazing. Yeah, we used to have a whole segment about super fans back in the 90s that my dad wrote up. This guy that would sail around the world, and he got stuck one time sailing in Iceland or outside of the coast of Iceland, and we air freighted hot sauce to him because he said he wouldn't move on with his trip around the world in his sailboat unless he had another case of hot sauce to carry him through. So we have a lot of fans like that are very, very loyal, and we have so much love and appreciation for them.
What a fun company to work for. You've got a lot of recipes on your website. Are you all the time coming up with recipes? I guess Chef Fig, your dad is Chef Fig, right? Okay.
Yeah, Chef Fig is the recipe man. He is an amazing cook. He is not a chef by training. He is a chef by love. He cooks for his family, and it's those recipes that he cooks for us that he's sharing with the world, very similar to what we do with our sauces, sharing what we like to eat, what we eat in our homes with the rest of the world.
Okay, just to make sure we give equal time here, Chef Fig is David, and his brother's name is?
His brother's name is Greg Figueroa. My father is the older brother. They're Irish twins, though. They're only 9 months apart, so they're pretty close in age. They built this company together. And right now, myself and my cousin Carter are kind of taking over as second generation, helping keep the brand moving forward.
Have I ever met your dad and his brother? I don't remember if they've been to this show when I've been here. I've seen you every year, but I don't remember if are they here?
They are not here. They are busy men, and it's hard to track them down for food shows. But I like to make sure that I'm here in person and to interact with people. No matter how busy I get, I always make time for these shows.
Well, we appreciate you for that. What's your favorite one? What's your favorite flavor?
My go-to is the fire-roasted garlic and habanero. I use that just about every day. It's a daily driver. Sometimes when I just want a snack, I'll take some potato chips and just squeeze it on top. It's a very, very good sauce.
What's the strangest recipe or the strangest thing you've ever seen Melinda's utilized on? Like, you ever fill a donut with that or anything? I mean, what have you seen?
It's funny. I was just speaking to a gentleman here at the booth about that. One of our favorites that we've seen, and it's actually very delicious, is on vanilla ice cream, our mango habanero hot sauce. You just sprinkle a few drops on top of it. Adds that little spicy, savory, sweet kick that is really nice with vanilla ice cream. And then we've also taken our chipotle and made a cherry chocolate chipotle ice cream. So, like you said, hot sauce and ice cream, a unique flavor profile, a unique recipe that you wouldn't think would work, and it just makes an amazing, amazing, amazing time. It's a great experience.
See, this is why I come to this show. It's stuff like that just intrigues the dickens out of me. Well, I know you've got stuff to do. You've got a bunch of people at the booth who are over there testing the sauces. So, Pinson Figueroa, you are the VP of commercial and strategy. I can't read my writing. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I just head up commercial strategy, sales and marketing here for the brand. Like I said, it's a family company, so I got to wear a lot of hats. So, had to make something work. So thank you so much for your time, Joy. It's been a joy.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you. We'll see you next year.
See you next year.
For over 30 years, Arctic Food Equipment has proudly served the backbone of America's restaurant industry. Right here in the heart of Springfield, Missouri. We're not just a supply house, we're your partner. From kitchens large to small, we build value-based relationships, always exceeding expectations with quality products and expert support. Trusted, reliable, American-made values. That's Arctic Food Equipment. Together, we help build the taste of our nation. Stop by or call today. Arctic Food Equipment. We're working hard so your kitchen can too. The tools you trust, the partner you deserve.
Raise your hand if you love avocados, guacamole, all the good stuff. All right, I'm at the National Restaurant Show again with Walter Rivas from Avocados from Mexico and Ali Werner, also from Avocados from Mexico. But now, Walter, you're the chef, and you have the most amazing guacamole toast bar set up for those of us lucky enough to be at NRA Chicago. Is it me, or have avocados exploded in popularity over the last 10 years or so?
Yes, 100%. Avocados have grown exponentially in the last 10 years. And here at NRA, really just showcasing the versatility of avocado and just trying to step outside the box from what people typically think of when they're thinking of avocado, which is just typically chips and salsa or chips and guac, right? And we're really playing the guac card here, doing a really cool avo toast. So we've created a couple of cool signature recipes, doing like a sweet and a salty, savory version, as well as like 50 other toppings that we let people build their own stuff with.
Now, Mexico is perfectly suited for growing these avocados.
Yeah, Avocados from Mexico is the biggest market share of avocado in the United States. So Avocados from Mexico supplies about 80% of the market at any time of the year. So like you said, Mexico produces the best avocados. Michoacan being the primary state where they're produced is like a perfect grounds for making amazing avocados due to the soil, weather, elevation, just like all the perfect conditions to make the best avocados.
80% of the avocados consumed in the U.S. or the world?
In the United States, yes. Yeah. But yes, they're a massive exporter around the world as well. But specifically for the United States, about 80% any time during the year. So,
who wants to talk about the health benefits of the avocado? All right, you're pointing to Ali. Ali, I mean, the more I read about avocados, the more I learn about the good things in them. So what's so good about them?
I think everybody knows about the healthy fats of avocados. That's obviously a big one. People calling it a superfruit, but really it's even beyond that. There's tons of vitamins and nutrients in them specifically. There's a lot of fiber, which is phenomenal for you, and it almost hits, it just kind of hits everything that you need in your diet in terms of macro and micronutrients. So it's really great overall.
Okay, I'm hearing something about I don't remember what it was called, but an avocado sandwich. I think it's which. Explain it. It's like a sandwich, but without bread.
Yeah, of course. So our buddies over at Which, we work together with them to develop a really insane sandwich, which is essentially, let's get rid of the bread, let's go insanely gluten-free, right, and use the avocados as the buns themselves. So we played with their team and came up with a really cool, messy creation that involves basically grabbing a pretty nice-sized avocado, pulling it out of its shell, peeling it, and cutting it in half, and then stuffing it with honey mustard, protein, so turkey, ham, bacon, lettuce, and seasoning it up with a little bit of everything bagel seasoning to give it that little salty, savory taste to it. But yeah, I mean, it is an incredibly delicious sandwich. People look at it and they're like, wow, that's a lot of avocado, but once you bite into it, you're like, man, this is perfectly balanced. This tastes amazing.
Is it a fork and knife thing to pick up, or do you pick it up? Like, I guess it depends on how you want to go at it.
I recommend people go all in. Just use your hands. I mean, yes, you could use a fork and knife, but I think that defeats the purpose of kind of what it is. It's a sandwich, right? So I would say just go all in. Left it with your hands. It's a little bit messy, but that's kind of the idea when you dig into it. So it's in a great sandwich. It's really, really fun.
I'm sure there are napkins available. Have you had one?
I have, and I think the most shocking part about it is it actually holds up. So when you do take it with your hands and you take a bite, you expect it to be kind of almost turned into a guacamole sandwich, but it holds up. The avocados are really firm, and you can take a bite and eat the whole thing. Napkins are definitely helpful, but you don't need a knife and fork for it.
If you go to Which, you can put whatever you want into it.
Okay.
We just developed that recipe because we think that the protein melds really well with the amount of avocado that's in the sandwich. So,
What are some of the other versatile things that you can do with avocado? Like, I'm seeing this avo toast bar, and you've got savory, you've got spicy. It used to be guacamole, you think, okay, a little lime juice, a little onion, maybe some cilantro, period. Oh, no, there's way more than that. What's some of the most unusual things you would throw on an avocado? Innovative.
Sure. People tend to forget that avocado's a fruit, right? So, and it's such a neutral flavor, so it becomes a great base to add in other things to it. So here in the U.S., we're really common at eating it savory, but in other parts of the world, avocado's more of a dessert. It's more of a sweet ingredient. So actually in our booth today, we're doing a nice little demo with a lot of guest chefs. We just had Chef Digby do a Caribbean menu that's all Caribbean, as well as we served everybody a nice avocado limeade. So we do cocktails, we do beverages, we do sauces with avocado that people don't typically think of, but we have a wonderful avocado limeade that's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it tastes delicious. So,
Do you still have any around here? Or?
We do.
Oh, you do?
We do have some, so we'd love to have you try some.
Okay, and you had me at cocktail, by the way. I'd love to see what you do. Now, I did one time, a few years ago, have an avocado ice cream. Have you ever tried an avocado ice cream?
We have. Chef Walter makes a phenomenal avocado ice cream, something that we are demoing. He alluded to Chef Digby's demo. He's actually demoing a brigadeiro today, which is a Brazilian dessert, and it's almost like a chocolate truffle. So it's an avocado blended with sweetened condensed milk to make a really, really nice consistency with chocolate, which I feel like people, to Walter's point, avocado is a fruit. You don't think about using it in that way with chocolate, but it's phenomenal.
Okay, sweet avocado dishes, which you've alluded to a little bit, but wow, you add the condensed milk to it and have a whole other creature. Like, is that something that's catching on, like maybe in food service or with other chefs or what?
Yeah, I think at least with the chefs we've seen, avocados become a little bit more versatile, and because of the amount of fat that's naturally produced in avocados, it becomes pretty easy to blend into stuff or really incorporate without changing the texture or making a funky mix per se, right? So, to the point of dessert, we've also done a really great gelato with our partners over at Which because they're also have a big gelato brand known as Pachugo in the DFW market. So we've done some cool stuff with them there.
Ah, very good. Okay, so when you go to get your avocado at the store, what do you look for to get the freshest ones? Like, do you look for color? Do you look for firmness? I don't know how this works, but I do know that sometimes I get the ones that feel a little more squishy on the outside if I want to eat it soon. Am I right about that, or am I off base?
No, you're correct. When we tell people to go, when they go look for avocados, we tell them to feel for texture, right? So you kind of feel the avocado, you kind of check for ripeness on the feel. We don't always tell them to go for color. That usually becomes a little bit of a thing we've heard, like once the avocado is dark, it's ready to go. That's not 100% the case since we are available year-round. We have avocados that are dark, but they're hard as a rock and they're not ready to go just yet, so we have to give them a few days. So we go based on texture and the way that they feel. We think a nice soft avocado, once it has a little bit of give on the top, that's when we know it's ready. Another trick that we tell people is if you're in the grocery store and your avocado has a stem, remove that stem, and if you see that the stem is completely pale and white underneath it, it's not ready to go. But once you remove that stem and there's a couple of little brown splotches on it, they're good to go. You're ready to make some guac. You take that stem off and it's completely dark. That avocado is kind of at the end of its life, so we recommend using this for like smoothies, sauces, blend it into something since they're kind of at the end of its life. And, we want to make sure it's used in whatever application it's going to be used in. But nice little trick for the market. So.
Oh, good to know. Can you speed up the ripening?
Yes. So the best way to speed it up is kind of keep avocados out at room temperature. Avocados love to ripen at room temperature, and if you want to ripen them quicker, put them next to other avocados or other high ethylene producing fruits, so like your melons, your apples, and all that stuff. So if you want to have an avocado ready from green to ready to eat in like 2 days, just keep them next to other high ethylene producing fruits.
Okay, tips for avocado lovers. And you were about to add?
I was going to say, if you want to keep them longer and you want to extend that shelf life, we recommend keeping avocados in the cooler, a refrigerator, about anywhere between 38 to 41 degrees. So you want to keep them nice and cold. It kind of halts in that ripening process. And people are usually scared to hold them because they're like, I bought my avocado, they're only good for 1 day. And I'm like, they're not really. Once they're ready to go, you can keep them in your fridge for about a week. So it's something that people don't really think about much when they want to hold avocados. You just keep them out on your counter. But if you want to keep them for longer, put them in the refrigerator.
And the lemon juice will help keep it from getting darker. And then am I right, if you have a half one left, maybe put some wrap over it tightly to keep the air off of it, right?
Yeah. Like most fruit, it begins to oxidize once air touches it. So once you've opened up your avocado, yes, a little bit of acid or maybe a little bit of a saran wrap or cling wrap to prevent it from touching the air will help extend its shelf life as well as keeping it cold. Always keep it cold.
Okay, keep it cold. Good tips. So not long ago, you enlisted the help of an NFL great, Rob Gronkowski, to come up with, I guess it's a guacamole. How that campaign must have been way successful. I would think it would not be too tough to get somebody like him on board. He's a healthy guy, a healthy eater. What was that like?
No, it's amazing. He came up with a really cool recipe. So he made a guacamole, which was essentially utilizing some unorthodox ingredients in your guac. So using buffalo sauce, blue cheese crumbles, a little bit of jalapeno. So he went all out. He made a really cool, tasty avocado guac. So that was
around Super Bowl time, right? And then didn't he do sort of a live demo or some kind of something on social media or whatever?
So we had our Gronk AI campaign where people could call the Gronk line and they could talk to AI Gronk about, different things, their avocado recipes, his guacamole, the very football inspired, as you alluded to, with the buffalo dip and the blue cheese. So that was really cool. It was a really cool kind of tech forward way to approach the Super Bowl that we were excited about.
I just love that because people who love football and Super Bowl around that time of the year is huge, I'm sure, for avocados and guacamole. But to get somebody like that, but he was an avocado fan to start with, right?
Oh yeah. Gronk's a big supporter of avocado, and we love him for that too, of course. But yes, man can eat a big bowl of guac.
I would imagine that he could. So what's next for avocados from Mexico? Like anything new coming up in terms of recipes or product design or I don't know. What's coming up? Anything?
Well, we try keeping people on their toes, right? I mean, just this NRA execution is something really unique and a little bit out of the ordinary. So, we always like to keep people on their toes and surprise them and really showcase that avocado is just more than just your mash that you eat at home with slices or whatever. And we love doing that way as well, but we're much more than that, right? So you might try some stuff later today. We have a nice little a slider going with a nice little avocado tune. We're also doing some cool Caribbean recipes like we alluded to earlier. So the brigadeiro bean doing one, as well as a couple of other really cool appetizers and entrees that, we can showcase. But, we are working with some of our chain partners, coming up with some cool recipes that, maybe we can't speak too much about now, but in the future, and hopefully keep bringing avocado top of mind.
Well, as I always say, you can tell me anything, so if you change your mind. But now I'm honestly standing in front of the Guac Heaven Avo Toast Bar, but I haven't even walked back there yet. So what are some of your favorite things back there?
I would say we have this nice little LTO to-go window, and we're demoing each day. We're kind of doing new recipes that Chef Walter developed that are really amazing. One of them is a beef bulgogi chip with an avocado sauce on it, and that one is one of my all-time favorites. It's delicious. It's one of those things you don't really think of avocado and something like a beef bulgogi together, but it is incredible because of just like how much the avocado is just fresh and it doesn't overpower anything. It really complements the things that it's attached to. So I would say that's one of my all-time favorites. We also had an avocado on the half shell, which is a really cool concept. It was a breakfast bowl served in the skin of an avocado, just kind of scrambled eggs, like a little mix there, and then topped with avocado and some hot honey, which is really on trend. Everybody loves hot honey these days. So I would say those are my top two, I think.
Oh my gosh, how much fun is it to come up with these recipes for NRA?
Oh, it's super fun. Mainly because we can kind of do what we want, right? But we also kind of align with some of the trends that are happening right now in the industry, like what Ali alluded to, like hot honey being on trend, right? People playing with a lot of different sauces and fruits has become a big thing. Trying to play a little bit with lavender and just some other fun stuff that are out there, and avocado pairs really good with everything. So,
lavender. I'm a big fan of lavender. Is this a dessert thing with lavender? What is it? Can you tell me? Sure you can.
Sure, of course. No, we've done it in cocktails recently. Yes, I know. We did a really cool lavender cocktail, but we're also doing it as a nice little lavender sauce that we do for avocado toast. But we don't have it necessarily featured today, but we're also doing a really cool sweet toast. So people that eat avo toast typically are used to eating a really savory toast. So on our avocado toast bar, we're doing a nice little berry bliss bar. So we have blueberries, we have raspberries, strawberries, and we're doing a custom blueberry sauce that goes on top of this toast. It's a wonderful savory sweet combination that people have really been enjoying. We've been selling a ton of them. So
okay, and hot honey would go well on that sweet avocado toast too. But yeah, I was looking at some of your ingredients, and you had the sesame chip crackers, and of course, feta cheese and za'atar and all these different, I'm really eager to get over there if you can't tell. And I'm going to let you go here in a second, I promise. But I was on your website earlier today, and I do think your website is so much fun. You've got some really good, fun videos on there, how-tos, recipes, things like that. So anybody out in the listening audience who needs ideas, Avocados from Mexico has really got you covered in terms of what's the best way to preserve this, what's a new way to cook it, go sweet, go savory, whatever. So I appreciate all you're doing for all of us who love us some avocados way beyond the guacamole. So Chef Walter Rivas and Ali Werner from Avocados from Mexico, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be sure to go to AroundTheOzarks.com to sign up for our daily newsletter where you can get every episode of Savor the Ozarks, plus all our other podcasts, events, and contests straight to your inbox. And what are your favorite dishes in the 417? Do you have any restaurants you'd like me to visit? Email me at joy@AroundTheOzarks.com.